All right. This episode has been a long time coming. I have, off and on throughout the last, probably almost 10 years, have been trying to get hold of Edward, usually through social media. You never know if that's even their account or if they check it or if it's somebody else, blah, blah, blah. I never quite knew if my missives were received. But then I follow them on Bandcamp, them being the legendary Pink Dots, the main band that I know Edward Ka-Spel from. He posted something about a piece of vinyl shipping late or something like that, and if anybody had questions, they could email him personally at blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I'll try that email address. And I did, and he responded. Very quickly, actually. I was very pleased. So finally, I get a chance to have a conversation with Edward Ka-Spel for the first time since, July 23rd, 1991. I know that because I have a cassette right here in front of me. That is a recording of an interview that I did with not only Edward Ka-Spel, singer for the Dots, but the Silverman, keyboard player for the Dots, and Niels Van Horn, the horn player for the Dots. They all sat down with me and my wife at the time and had a great conversation with us. They were so cool and laid back and very mellow, but hyper intelligent. Very easy to talk to. It felt very natural, and they were very open and very friendly, very humble. And then we ended up eating some Middle Eastern food after the interview, and then the show happened. But since then, that was probably a few years into my being into the Dots, but I've literally known their music for decades. Edward Ka-Spel also has an extensive, prolific catalog of music out. He plays with a band called Tear Garden, who has a former member of Skinny Puppy, Kevin Key, I think is it, if I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I was never really a Skinny Puppy fan. So I have a long history musically with Edward Ka-Spel's various projects. So it was really wonderful to finally get a chance to sit down and communicate with him about his music. I feel like I had a hard time sort of getting into the groove of it. I think Edward did too. Maybe, I'm not sure why. You know, you never know where you're going to get somebody in their life, whether they're in between two other engagements or they're on their seventh interview. You never know. Something horrible may have happened to them earlier in the day. You just never know where somebody's going to be coming from. So I think we just kind of flitted around each other. But still, I was very thankful to have the honor to talk with Edward. I have much respect for him. His songwriting is incredible. Yeah, it's just amazing. Anyway, I'll stop babbling. If you don't know, if you're not familiar with their music, I will have links in the episode notes. I highly suggest you go check them out. This opening song right now is Evolution, off of the legendary Pink Dots album, The Maria Dimension. And if I remember correctly, it's the album that they were touring for when I interviewed them for my zine. That's what the interview was for. I forgot to mention that. The cassette interview was for a zine that I had. Look it up. And yeah, it was really amazing. But without further ado, let's get into it. How did you get into and get started making music in the first place?
I suppose it's like a bit of a teenage dream in a way. I did have a school band that we worked on, and it was a little bit like an embryonic Pink Dots, the way it
Okay.
sounded.
Uh-huh.
But it, I guess I was the only one who was taking it that seriously at the time.
Uh-huh.
So it was doomed never to really get past just like one little cassette that we put together, but we only heard amongst ourselves, basically.
Gotcha. Does it exist somewhere? Does somebody have a copy of it?
Yeah, yeah. One of the other members, who's actually I went to school with, he does still have the cassette.
Cool.
I'm hoping that one day he'll copy it for me, but he hasn't
I
actually.
hope I hope he has digitized it. Yeah. The state's
Yeah,
corrode.
I don't know. I'm still in touch with him. I should maybe
Prod
nudge
'em.
one of these days.
Exactly, yes. Those things are like artifacts, they will crumble one day like the Ark of the Covenant. Uh, so you took it a lot more serious. Do you think it was just because they just wanted to, pick up chicks and drink beer, or and it was something a more higher calling to you, or
I suppose it's because we were actually like 16, 17 years old.
okay. Yeah.
It's it was just something I really, really wanted to do,
Uh-huh.
and I put it on ice for a few years. But indeed, it is a calling. It's sort of
Mm.
like there's no way I could have ignored the calling for so long, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, it's not a phase. You're still at it. How long from, let's say, the first Dots cassette to now? When was that first thing put out?
I think the first actual release was in 1981.
Okay.
Um, that was Only Dreaming, the cassette,
Mhm.
and a lot of it was recorded in 1980.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
like,
nice.
just in the 4 months that we existed in 1980,
Mhm.
we did kind of like start running in a way.
Yeah, yeah. And you were always prolific from the get-go, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you
That's
know.
great. Yeah, you did a lot. It seems like you did a lot of self-published and self-distributed stuff. You didn't wait around to get signed on by a label. You just dove right into it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was the climate of the time as well. It's
Yeah.
a time when bands were independent and just wanted to be heard, and like a thousand and one cottage industries, and we were one of those cottage industries.
Yeah, exactly. Cassette culture, people were passing around cassettes, and it's a different time period altogether. There were actually music scenes back then where people gathered and experienced stuff as a group.
Oh, we used to send like cassettes to each other in other countries, and because that was the way. Also, there was a real thirst to hear what other people were doing,
Mhm.
and it was very nice communication. Considering there was no internet or anything like that,
Yeah.
you had to put in that extra bit of effort. But
Yes.
that was what was so good about it, really, as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely. Eye contact, like being in the same room as
Sure.
somebody, and then yeah, like getting to talk to people at the merch table as they bought your T-shirts and your cassettes and stuff like that. That was a whole different experience.
That's true.
Yeah. I love that. I love that time period. I'm so glad that we were both around for that. So I didn't catch on to the Dots until I moved in with my girlfriend and she had the Lovers on vinyl. The cover that wasn't the faces and the flowers, but the other one with the photograph on there, and I don't remember.
Oh, right, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know what that was, the first one or the second one, but
That was the second one. The
okay.
first one was sort of different blocks in a way. The first one is actually quite a rare cover.
Mhm.
We had issues with the label.
Gotcha.
And, it was, well, not withdrawn, but immediately reissued on with these kind of like the two faces
Uh-huh.
on the cover. Which, to be honest, I thought that was a little bit too personal. I never approved that cover. The
Oh,
label
gotcha.
just simply did it.
What? They just took one of your photographs and put it on the cover?
Yeah, I mean, I would never ever go for a cover like that. Sort of. I actually like the face in the silver face in the rose.
Yes.
I think that's far more fitting
Yeah.
as a cover.
Yeah,
But
I like
yeah,
that a lot.
it was yeah, a lot of things tended to be done often without consulting us in those times.
Which is interesting because I always from my point of view, I always thought it seemed all very organic, like you guys had control over everything, but Obviously, that's not the case.
No, 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 because the labels were actually getting bigger and bigger at the time,
Uh-huh.
and they tended to take a few liberties
Gotcha.
on the whole. And yeah, we just kind of like lived in our own peculiar little world, a little bit divorced from the business. The only thing we knew we would never do was sign a contract where a label had control over us.
Mhm.
And so, because control means sort of artistic, like an artistic straitjacket, and we could never have that.
Yeah.
You know,
And
so
then
we insisted that we could release with whatever we wanted, with whoever we wanted, and that was even with the bigger independents. We just never, signed our future away, basically.
yeah, that's great. To this day, do you own the rights to all of your stuff?
Pretty much, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
cool.
We got it all back at the beginning of the 2000s of all
Oh,
the
good.
stuff, and yeah, it's just. I mean, in a way, there's so much material. We never quite know what's. We want to honor our legacy and
Mhm.
honor our past because so much of it's out of print now.
Yes.
Um, like vast amounts of the catalog. You can get it digitally, but you can't get it physically. I'm trying to do something a bit about that a little bit, but
Mhm.
it is like needles in a haystack as well. It's like
I'm
there's so
sure.
much of it. Really.
Yeah, exactly, which is great. I mean, as it evolves, it takes on different covers and gets distributed by different people, and so it's still it's like a soul that gets reincarnated into different bodies. It just finds different cover art and a different place to go, and that's good that you've been able to maintain a lot of that throughout the years, and you guys do have such a vast catalog. It's insane. Do you know off the top of your head roughly how many proper albums you guys have put out?
Oh, no idea.
Yeah, yeah.
No idea at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing, it's really outstanding. And you guys were on Play It Again Sam for a long time too, right?
That's right. Till,
Yeah.
I think year 2000, basically.
Uh-huh.
We weren't releasing new albums with them since, like, I think 1994, but they did still have, yeah, we still worked with them till the year 2000.
Mhm. Well, so, yeah, I got on the Dots train, around the time The Lovers came out, and it just completely hit me from nowhere, out of the blue. Like, it was such a romantic, heartfelt album, at least that one side that has the lovers and the different parts on there. Um, and that something about that really moved me. Like, it kind of gave me hope in music. Like, I grew up in the Midwest in America, and I was raised with Led Zeppelin and Aerosmith and Foreigner and all of this, kind of album-oriented radio that really didn't leave a whole lot of room for creativity. So, after I got out of high school and moved to Kansas City, which is where I interviewed you guys for the first time, and I just located that cassette tape that interview is on just earlier today. Um, it really gave me hope that music could actually say something meaningful and be about romance and love, and so, yeah, thank you for breathing new life, into music for me, with that album, and then I just followed you guys from there on, and I think the first time I saw you was for the Golden Age tour, which is to
Okay.
yeah, to this day, my favorite Dots album is the Golden Age. That's really where it hit for me.
That's actually my favorite of all the early ones as well, the Golden Age.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. You guys had a really good the Silverman was with you guys, Niels, uh, I don't remember what the violin player's name was, but I he
Gotcha.
was yeah, oh my god, that was such a great lineup.
I mean, it changes, it
Yeah, of course.
fluctuates. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But as the years go on, um, like the Shadow Weaver albums, they all have a different sort of vibe to them, a different sort of sound, which is great because it's like the dots keep evolving throughout the years, and you don't get constrained to any sort of a formula or anything. But each era and each lineup definitely seems to have their own personality.
Oh, totally. I mean, I'm very fond of the Dots as it is right now.
Uh-huh.
It feels like, in some ways, to me, it feels like the strongest lineup we ever had.
That's
But
fantastic.
it's because of the basically the communication we have between us. There's a strong friendship, and there's like a very intense will to work, to go into new places, and it's a very, very dynamic stage for us right now.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I wish you guys were coming anywhere remotely near where I was. I'm still in Kansas, very near
Oh,
Kansas
okay.
City, yeah. But you guys have been really good throughout the years at hitting Kansas City, but did not this time around, but hopefully sometime in the near future.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So, what would you say, if anything, were your musical or even metaphysical influences that drew you into wanting to make the kind of music that you guys ended up making?
Those all the music I listened to mostly, like in the 70s, and so I was German, like a lot of the German bands,
Mhm,
like Amandul and
mhm.
Can, Faust. I loved those bands.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Pink Floyd. I mean, that was like the first band of all. I heard them. I think I saw them on Top of the Pops doing NC Emily Play when I was really quite young.
Uh-huh.
Um, I heard Amagama when I
Yes.
during a drama lesson at school, and yeah, that I mean, it was a game changer for me. I could
Yeah.
only afford maybe one album a month, and I didn't even have a stereo at that time because it was like they couldn't afford one.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it's like I used to play Amagama on my little record player, literally a record player, not a
Mhm.
stereo, like one with a speaker on the front.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's great. Gumma, yeah, the where's the one that's oh god, I can't think of it. It's a really long song title.
Oh, several species of this
Yes.
small furry animal gathered together in a cave and grooving with a pict.
Yes, that one. Yeah, that was fantastic. I think we stumbled upon a copy of that. A friend's older brother had that. We're like, "What the fuck is this?" So we just put it on and like, oh my god. I think it was about around the time that we started smoking pot. So of course the 2 went hand in hand together.
That's fabulous record.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Really, really incredible and very experimental in lots of ways too. So what compelled you to take the step and wanna add to that legacy of music recordings as opposed to just sit and listen to other people do it?
I can't tell you that really. It's just like a need, a
Mhm.
drive. I wrote lots of lyrics, sort of I fold up and put in a drawer for years. Um, which actually they pepper the very first Pink Dots releases. A lot of those, and I think, to be honest, I think they sound like it too. Were basically teenage lyrics, very a bit
Yeah.
fanciful,
Uh-huh.
very immature here and there. There are things you think, oh God, did I really say that? It's like, but there they are. They're out there, so you can't change history.
Sure.
Yeah, it's many, many teenage lyrics, and it was around I think around the tower that I've really started, yeah, writing a lot of new. No earlier than that. No, was earlier than that. But yeah, it's a mix.
Mhm.
Those early albums. You know,
Gotcha.
some of them go back to my teenage years. Some of them were from the time.
Mhm. It seems like the lyrics, when they started getting into really into telling stories, a lot of times maybe set in some post-apocalyptic scenario or something like that. Like, it was pretty obvious that you were a reader. Like, you had a wealth of different stores of experience and things that you've read. That's what it seemed to me. It seemed like you had a lot of, material that you were drawing from as far as maybe sci-fi and
Oh, I devoured books when I was
yeah.
a teenager. Yeah, likes of Harlan Ellison Robert Sheckley, I loved. Yeah, Silverberg, all the famous sci-fi
Mhm.
writers.
Yeah, yeah.
I did devour those books,
Uh-huh.
one after the other.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause, the some of the lyrics that you write, especially during from, like, The Tower through, like, Crushed Velvet Apocalypse, Golden Age also too, Maria Dimension, are very almost cinematic, like, I could see them being little short movies in the sense of just the subject matter and where they're set and the words that you use to describe things, and I really, really appreciate that, like, I got on this jag in the late '80s, after I saw Wings of Desire and after I heard the Dots music that it really, for some reason, was inspiring me to explore Europe. Up until that time, I'd just been kind of bound to the States, so I always associated with your guys' music with, uh, I don't know, different places in Europe and the architecture there and stuff like that, and once I actually finally made it there, it totally made sense, especially after visiting the Netherlands and where you guys had made a lot of music there, like, this sort of the cultural backdrop that this music was coming out of. Do you think that where you live while you're making music has a lot to do with the music itself, or is
Oh,
that s
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first albums were all, of course, in London,
Mhm.
um, and very, very much all the way through to the Tower, where they're London uh, based, and that's where a lot of it. I mean, now it's a mix because I'm living in London, Eric's living in the Netherlands, Youp's in the Netherlands, and Randall's actually in Italy right now. So, like, that's quite a mix of cultures. But
Yes.
we do make it happen. We get together and you know blend it all, put it
Yeah.
in a blender.
It's a lot easier to do that this day and age too with technology, like, you can send each other musical ideas and
Sure,
yeah.
but we still get together though. I mean, because
Yes,
you do have to do that.
absolutely,
There's nothing beats getting in a room together.
for sure. Is playing out, do you come across maybe fans who seem to be from way back when, new fans, or a mixture of both?
Mixture of both,
Yeah.
and lots of people followed us literally for decades.
Yes.
They're brilliant as well. They really do just stick with us through thick and thin, and they're friends, they're not fans. Like after all these years.
Yeah, I'd have to say when I first interviewed you for the zine that I was doing, actually on the tape here, it says 7/23/91.
Ah,
It was quite a while ago. Um You all were very, very friendly and just took us right in. You were gonna get something to eat before the show, and you invited me and my wife at the time to go with you at the Jerusalem Cafe in Kansas City, and it was really wonderful. I mean, it really makes me understand why you get a loyal following because you guys are genuine people, genuine artists. You're not obviously in this to make tons of money. You're in it because you enjoy what you're doing. There's some value in it to you.
yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only reason to do it. It's of course you got to live, but you know, it's not the be all and end all. I mean, there are far easier ways of making money. Put it that way.
For sure. So you have been basically able to live off of your music this whole time?
Pretty much. It's a little
Yeah.
bit on edge. I mean, like my wife works as well.
Mhm.
So like between us, we managed to scrape by.
Yeah,
But
I hear you.
if it was just me alone, I don't know. Yeah, that might be difficult. But
Yeah.
together, we somehow do it.
Good. That's great. That's important and gives me hope. I just got well, I'm kind of actually in the middle of screenwriting school, and, I have just been rehabbing houses all my life, so I really admire somebody who has, spent their entire life, even if it has involved quite a bit of struggle, to do what they want to do and what they feel passionate about.
Yeah.
Why do you think that humans make music in general? Do you think it's For self-indulgent reasons? Do you think it's to communicate some higher thing?
Mostly, I think it is a calling. You know, because in a way, the logic of music is it's wild. It's like what why does it exist at all? But it does. It probably is a language beyond every other language.
Yes.
I don't know. It is a high thing. It is a
Mhm.
spiritual thing.
For sure. And that's, basically what this podcast is about, is dealing with higher musics and music that isn't, just sort of background music, but something that is more maybe seen as transcendent or otherworldly, and I think, your music solo and with the Dots and with Tear Garden definitely qualifies for all of that. W would it be astute to say that you have an interest in maybe the paranormal or magical things or the
Ugh,
supernatural?
sure.
Yeah.
It's especially as you get older, you want to know stuff like this. It's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I always
It
have, yeah.
Yeah, and, I think that's something that attracted me to your music too, is that shows in the lyrics, like, there's something of often some sort of a mystical undertone to it, or something that is very magical and just takes you to a different place than material reality doesn't usually, uh, um,
Yeah,
afford you.
yeah, I'll say that. I mean, however bleak the world may seem to be,
Mhm,
there is still a lot to appreciate and love in the world. It's a beautiful place. It's like yeah, you want I want to point towards that really. However, even if there's darkness in the music that we make, there's also a lot of light. There's a lot of laughter. So it's it it it, it is a direction,
mhm,
and we're not alone. I mean, lots of people are doing this, and that is a very good thing, I must say.
yes. Yeah, I think it is good to keep it in perspective that there is a lot of good in the world, and I think there's a lot of there's many, many more good and good-hearted people than there are the ones that we see in the news and that wanna control us, and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
true.
yes. I think that's something that I always glean from your music too, is there's always sort of like an underdog that is there to do good or has some sort of light still within them that may be in a bleak environment, but yeah, I dig it. What about, what do you I'm just gonna ask you some off the cuff questions that may or may not really have anything to do with music, but more just about you and how you see reality. What do you think that there is an afterlife?
Um, yeah, I think there is, but I couldn't possibly describe how I envisage it. It's
Mhm,
not something I can really put into words. It's just there seems like a blissful logic to an afterlife,
mhm,
in that basically nothing can be created or destroyed. Um, I think that the human spirit comes in there too. I think the animal spirit comes in there too. It's like it is. If you see what I mean.
yeah, I totally get it. It just makes sense, and people have been talking about it for tens of thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years. So it's like it's so funny when like modern science may come in and think that all of a sudden they have the they have the answer for every single mystery in the universe when I don't think that they can only what were you gonna say?
No, no, it's just saying it's very true. And of course they don't. But it's like it's good that they look. It's good that they
Yes.
search. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. That curiosity is important. As long as it's not dictated by, some corporate overseer or something like that. I think the endeavor of science is a good thing for sure. Yes. As long
Yeah.
as we're still asking questions, I think it's important to ask questions. So do you I mean, does that would it be right to assess that you still have faith in humanity then?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
It's hard in these times because
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever known the world be quite as dark as it is right now.
Yeah.
Um, but you have to believe. If you stop believing, then that's the kind of time to give up.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm not giving up.
Yeah. That's good. I agree with that too, and obviously, you probably would have stopped making music a long time ago if you felt that there was no need to
Yeah, sure.
sing while you may. Let's see. So, what do you think about there's been lots of talk about people thinking that we live in some sort of a simulation. Do you have any thoughts on that whatsoever? Does that make any sense to you in the least?
I mean, of course, I know this theory very well,
Mhm.
and it can't be true. It can't be proved, and it cannot be disproved.
True.
You only have your own senses, and uh, basically mine to rely on. And what I see might be completely different to what you see. Yeah, you might actually put the same label on it, and but the two labels are the only thing that actually fit. Our perception of it might be completely different, opposite even.
Yeah, I agree. I think that even 2 or more people can look at the same situation sometimes and see it completely differently depending on where they're at mentally or psychologically or spiritually.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah. So do you think that there is I don't find it necessary to put the word God or anything like that in front of something, but do you think that there's a something higher than us?
I sincerely hope so.
Yes, I understand. Um, what do you God, that would be too broad of a question to ask, I suppose, but, um, yeah, that's just too broad. Do you think that, um, maybe well, let's go with reincarnation. You said that you believe in an afterlife. Do you believe that, there's a possibility that we may return again and again and do things to learn to become a better soul?
I think it's possible.
Mhm,
In a way, it's good to look at statistics when you
mhm,
talk about reincarnation and basically the percentage of the world's population that believes in reincarnation as they would believe in, like me sitting in this room, or I don't know, holding this phone or whatever. It's
yeah,
like that natural. It isn't even a point of discussion. It isn't a belief. It just, again, as I say, it is for those people.
mhm.
And that makes me think there's got to be something in it, basically.
Yeah, I agree. And there are lots of stories from different cultures from around the world that sort of seem to allude to the same sort of thing. They may call it something different, but they're seems like they're alluding to the same sort of phenomena, like a cyclical existence or the fact that there is, a spiritual hierarchy of beings that are uh, more, comprehensive than we are. So yeah, I kind of like I try and constantly collect different stories and ideas and see where the overlaps are.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems to be the way that works the best for me. If you, uh, what are you hoping that people will take away from your music? Something like something to relate to, having heard a good story, moved to tears?
Can't really answer that.
Okay.
That's impossible.
Sure. Yeah, everybody's gonna get something different from it.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense. Um, Do you have anything in the works? Any new projects coming up or new tours?
Oh, in the Tiergarten tour, of course. That's everything. Everything is basically pointing toward this the tour that was due to do in September.
Mhm.
It's taking up a lot of my time, it's sort of wrangling a lot of my nerves as far as we wait for the visas and things.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, because that's going to be exciting. Because Tiergarten never toured before,
Cool.
so looking forward to that. Um, Projects wise, I'm working on something with the Italian friends called Motion Capture right now.
Mhm.
It's like I think it's the third album we've done together, and we're yeah, basically continuing. Yeah, there's a lot of little projects all over the place at the moment.
Sure.
But,
Yeah, yeah. And trying to get some of your older stuff re-released and back into print again.
oh yeah, I mean I've got a little bit. Yeah, we're doing some of that ourselves.
Mhm.
Like I want to do a little CD runs of Brighton Now and the Tower, and yeah, a lot of the things that just aren't around for a long
Mhm.
time, but they'll be very small edition.
Like like a little limited edition.
Yeah, yeah,
Great. Perfect for collectors. Like, there are I'm sure there are so many dots collectors that just have so many different versions of things.
yeah.
Yeah, it needs its own museum. Well, cool. Well, yeah, that's about the list of questions that I have, and here I was thinking an hour wouldn't be enough, and we have plenty of time left over, but, uh, seems like a good place to draw it to a close unless there's any other thing that you would like to tell us that you have going on, or is there maybe a particular website that you would like to send people to?
I mean, our main website, legendarypink.org,
Okay,
is like an old friend of ours does a wonderful job with that. Camille been doing it for many years, and she just basically it's just wonderful what she does.
fantastic.
Now Bandcamp, I guess our Bandcamp site has got all the albums there.
Good.
It's a bit of a, you know, basically a labyrinth. It's like yeah, I get nervous looking at it, but
That's funny. So then are you guys responsible for sending all that stuff out yourself, or do you have somebody that does that for you?
oh, I send stuff out myself from here.
Uh-huh,
Bon does it in uh from the Netherlands for Europe, and Johnny does it in America from Denver. But I
fantastic.
mean, we all sell what we all send whatever we can to meet what makes sense to
Mhm,
what anybody sort of like buys from us. So sometimes I send things to America. Actually, quite often I send things to America. But yeah, as I say, it's still this cottage industry
for
going on.
sure.
It could be a little faster. It could be a little more efficient. But it is always friendly, and we do our best.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Much rather get it directly from the artist as opposed to, from some warehouse somewhere in the middle of
Oh,
nowhere.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I think you guys are keeping it real by continuing to send out your own stuff and put it out yourself, and I think that's admirable, especially in this day and age. Well, Edward, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I really, really appreciate it. And it's been good to catch up with you 25 years after the first time that we talked.
Right.
And I wish you the best. And I will let you know when this episode is out.
Thanks, Chris.
All right.
Pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, likewise. Take care,
Yep.
sir.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all so much for listening or watching. It is greatly appreciated. Hopefully, you're getting something good out of this. If you have any ideas for people to have on, which is also is in disguise a request for people to turn me on to good music, please send that to Musiuni, Musiuni at protonmail.com. And yeah, send me some links. I am always open to new music for sure, especially if it fits the category of whatever the hell this music is. Transcendental, otherworldly, uh, timeless, you name it. Etherical. I think I combined a couple of words there. Numinous. You know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at. It goes without saying, and I don't think there's any words to say it anyway. Until next time, fare thee well.